I don't think you know who you're talking to.
Yeah, it's one of those like I can break anything. I'm a Marine, man.
I know.
Yeah.
I figured. Yeah, that excuse. I know. I know that one all too well.
What's up, Herostock Nation?
Hello, Herostock Nation. Or should I be saying something else? Tom Lamog here and Matt Jones. Hey, buddy, how you been?
Oh, I've been, fat and sassy like always.
Uh, just
How
a,
you been?
it was the last couple of weeks extraordinary. Last week we talked with Devin Stewart, which was a real eye opener in the way of musicianship and songwriting. Sang us some songs, told us some stories before that. And Tommy Walk, who is going to be coming up in the month of November. We had Karen Dunn. It was a wonderful last couple of weeks. And I believe, we've got an incredible couple of guests for tonight. So we're just going to keep on rolling with these really cool interviews.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. This is a guy. I love this dude every time I see him, full of energy. He's also one of those guys who writes music about those dark and dirty, kind of down in the mud, and if you want to cultivate an environment where you champion people, you got to be willing to go down into the dirt and down into the mud. This guy we're bringing on, man, he's one of those that'll hop in the foxhole with you. So,
That's
absolutely, let's bring him on.
Absolutely. But before we do, and it's Derek Thompson, and he's a friend of ours. He's a friend of Herostock. He's gone through, not only performing with us, both on the main stage in Ashland, but also a number of events. I know most recently at the farewell to our friends over at the Nebraska Brewing Company. But we invited Derek Thompson. He's a veteran of the U.S. Marine Corps. He served twice in Afghanistan, coming face to face with unimaginable danger, which kind of sets the tone for tonight. After leaving, Derek pursued a career in firefighting and more than 10 years of service experienced a devastating injury that forced him into retirement. Since then, he's pursued such interests as like coal mining, mixed martial arts, and then, of course, the ultimate parenting. So these days, I know he's crafting a new song, and he's going to be joining us tonight, along with, his buddy BJ. So, but for right now, Derek, it's good to see you, my friend. How are you?
It is great to see you guys. Man, you make it sound really good. Like it actually sounds like I have a story. When you live it, it's a little bit different, you know?
Well, I have to tell you, you've shared some of your stories with me on the other podcast, Songs Sung True, Veterans View. Plus, you've showed up to do a couple of guest appearances and teaching people how to play guitar and also how to do some songwriting. So I've heard your stories, and I'm glad you're here to tell us more about this experience with the rope swing.
Busy man, busy
I
man.
Yeah, yeah. But before we get into the video footage, because there are people who probably are curious as to rope swing. I've been on a rope swing before, not like this.
Not like this. No.
it was wild. It seemed less like a rope swing, more like a free fall.
Well, let's start from the beginning. First of all, how did you hear about it?
So I had watched videos on it, and then so I just out of the blue kind of brought it up with my girlfriend. She was like, "Yeah, we're gonna go do that," and I was like, "Yeah," and then she's like, "No, seriously," and I was like, "Yeah, no, sounds great." And then next thing I know, like a month later, she's like, "Hey, I got that rope swing booked," and I was like, "Wait, what?
Wait, what?
We're going to do that?" And she's like, "Yeah, you can't back out. There's no refunds," and I was like, "Perfect." Then life kind of happened like it does for me. I can't remember exactly what happened, but we had to miss the original date, so we had to move it back, which is, I mean, a blessing in disguise, I think. But we moved it back, and then, next thing I knew, it was like the week before, and I was just like, "Oh, that's next weekend, huh?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, let's go do this thing." You make time for it, and it's all about the adventure, I guess, and being happy to try new things and put yourself in a situation that you're not comfortable with. I think the biggest thing we can learn in life is just how to be uncomfortable. Because if you're comfortable, you're not growing.
Yeah.
So any situation I get that I get the opportunity to be uncomfortable, I'm happy to take.
So what we're going to do right now, Darius, we're going to play back the video that you shared online. It's going to come to you in two parts. The first part is the original video that you shared with us. The
Yeah.
second one is going to be an additional perspective. It's actually taken from the Rope Swing Moab's website. It was the person that I want to say his name was Shane or Sean or something.
The drone footage.
It'll be no, not the drone footage. It's actually a shot from across the canyon.
Oh, that'll be sweet. I don't think I've seen that one.
All right. Well, here, let's go ahead. You go ahead and talk through it.
All right, now I see me. This is the drone footage that I shared. And so the fun part about this whole thing was they sat there and he was like, nobody's yelled anything yet. So as I'm jumping right here, I'm yelling, I gotta poop. And then as you see, it's just kind of about the
You
moment.
really have to?
No, I just wanted to yell something fun for the sake of the cameras. But as you're going down, it's about 600 feet of just free fall there. And that was kind of it was just a freeing moment of getting to do that where I didn't know what to expect. So they gave us a couple ways to dive. And then I decided to go the head first route. And
Yeah.
they said that going too steep down gets a little bit scary. So naturally, as I went, I kind of dove more down, and it actually felt better to aim even faster down than
Yeah.
it did when I was like trying to look out above the canyon. Because that's how I started, was trying to look out, and I was like, it's actually kind of fun just to dive straight down. So I ended up diving straight down, and I was like, next thing I knew, felt the rope catch, and I was just swaying, and I was like, it was just a moment of relief, and like in the good way. It was that adrenaline hit and then the dopamine released. And I don't think it's kind of like anything you do where that dopamine, that adrenaline, and all that hits, you end up so happy. And you can't like explain it in words necessarily. It's just all the feeling. It's kind of like you did crack, and you're just, everything's free. So in that last like 8 hours where I was just on this high of being, I felt invincible, you know what I mean?
Now have you done like skydiving in the past or any bungee
Nope.
jumping? I mean, this is kind of what it looks like. Is that
Nope. I have never done any of that. My brothers have done something similar. In Vegas, they did a rope swing like that, but not like that. Theirs was like it lifts you up, and then you're like you can feel the tension the entire time.
Mhm.
This was just an absolute free fall for 600 feet, and then you just catch and
Well, now that we know kind of like what your mental state was, your psychological, experience was physically, when you leap off of the cliff and you have that sensation of flying or freedom, you know, can you talk a little bit about
yeah.
that? What is that? It's just like I've never experienced this before. Were you
Yeah, the biggest
scared?
thing for me was this is a new experience. And like I said, it's taken that leap of faith
Yeah.
just like I've got to be uncomfortable. And my biggest thing, like my first thought was I just need to make sure that I jump far enough because I didn't really particularly like the idea of hitting a rock on the way down. But it was just no thinking, just do it. And I've learned that through a lot of different experiences where it's like if I think about it too much, I'm gonna freak myself out. So just do it and don't put any thought to it. But as soon as I got off the cliff, it was like this is real,
Mhm.
and I was it was just that it frees you up. It's like if I can do this, I can do anything. And every experience I get like that, it's just a new relief of I can go farther. And
Yeah.
I think that's an adrenaline junkie thing where it's kind of unhealthy. And I can kind of relate to ADHD, I guess. I run on dopamine. So when I get dopamine, I'm like, I need more. So as soon as that happened, it's like, what can I do next? That's more than this. And then you just end up in kind of a constant loop of what's going to be more, how can I get more dopamine like this, more adrenaline? How can I release those, uh, endorphins that make me happy? And you just get stuck in that. And I was very, very excited. And I was like, how can I do this more? And then that was like the moment where I was like, I for sure have to go skydiving.
So here, let's go with this. Let's relive it one more time for me.
This is going to be fantastic. I haven't seen this. This right there, though. He was like, wave at the camera, say hi to mom. And I was like, yeah, this is where, I die. When you see it from that view, it looks so much bigger than the view that, I got with the drone footage. That gives you a real idea. Like I'm an ant in in that. I mean, that is just so far. And I don't think you don't really notice it when you're looking at something that big. Like if you're there, you can understand it. But yeah, when you're doing that from that view, you really get an idea of just how truly far that is. And it's the largest rope swing in the world. So you're not gonna find anything a whole lot bigger right now.
How did Candace do?
She did amazing. She does this stuff all the time. She's she's able to go skydiving by herself. She's done it 34 times, broke her legs doing it, stuff like that. And then there's, me, and I'm just like, I don't usually do stuff like this. I get my adrenaline other ways, like music. Music gives me that same kind of dump.
You could have fooled me when I saw that you had posted this video. And I just thought to myself, oh, he's up to his usual adventure, his thrill seeking.
Yeah, it's that whole I just don't think about things.
Yeah.
And typically, if you ask me to do something, I'm just going to say yes and forget what I said yes to.
Mm.
So if you said, let's go jump off the Empire State Building, I'd be like, yeah, sounds great.
Oh,
yeah. Next Thursday. Yeah. Sounds good.
And then I wouldn't think about it until that next Thursday. And then I'd be like, what did I sign up for again?
Yeah. Hey, there's BJ behind you. You guys are going to play a song for us, aren't you?
Yeah, BJ's back here. If you got your headphones, we'll do Memories, which is that's really all you need, dude.
Yeah. So while he gets all suited up and all, advice that you have for others who are thinking about doing this?
I would say do it. I mean, I don't think you can ever go wrong with just shooting for the stars and going.
Later. So what do you got musically? Is this a song, one of your current songs?
This song's called Memories, and I had a lot of memories that went into this, and I tried to just get them together, put them into words, and the song, the way it came out, I love it. When you walked on up to me, I was awkward and all. I was desperate just to please. The next thing you know, we're looking for a place to see if the sparks will fly. Oh, we found a better place to be. What if I tried harder to be the man you thought I'd always be? Not a day will pass when you don't cross my mind. From the days that we golfed and the places we dined, never thought for a moment you wouldn't be mine. And I took that left, you took that right. Next thing you know, we're only memories. Memories. gone, reminisce about the times we had. Well, I just went hunting, and you got that house you play. We still share music, yeah, the songs that made us cry. Like good old Blake telling us about how he is lonely tonight. What if I tried harder to be the man you thought I'd always be? Not a day will pass when you don't cross my mind. From the days that we gone and the places we dined, never thought for a moment you wouldn't be mine. And I took that left, took that right. Next thing you know, we're only memories. What if I tried harder to be the man you thought I'd always be? Not a day will pass when you don't cross my mind. From the days that we gone and the places we dined, never thought for a moment you wouldn't be mine. Then I took that left, you took that right. Next thing you know, we're only memories.
That was excellent. My goodness.
Yes!
That is
That was
honestly
fantastic.
like my favorite song I've wrote. I love it so much.
Such
Guys, get
groove
into
and
it.
feel, and just BJ, your guitar work is phenomenal, by the way. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. And your writing, Derek, has gotten better since I interviewed you a couple years ago. I think it was a couple years ago, and you had just a handful of songs. Really, you really sounds fantastic, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 2 books, like right now. I've got one darn near full. I mean, half of it's trash, but I mean, I got a good amount of songs in there. And then BJ's got a bunch of songs we're going to be working on here in the future. And then we're looking to get our EP out here probably
December-ish.
Yeah, December.
Okay.
And from there, we've got 2 more songs to write.
Well, yeah, we've got 2 or 3 more to finish writing because the EP is going to have 5 songs, and then the album will come out a couple of months later, and there won't be any repeats.
Okay. Maybe could it be in time for a hero stocking stuffer? I mean, is
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. By next year, for sure.
Oh, all right. Oh, geez. Derek, BJ, thank you for spending some time with us this afternoon, not only for the music, which is fantastic, but also for the story about the rope swing and that adventure, Derek. That was
Absolutely.
really remarkable. All right. Anyway, hey, up next, we'd like to introduce you to David Welch. He's a U.S. Army veteran of 14 years, a district commander for the Oregon VFW. He teaches veterans to play guitar, manages the Guitar Servettes program in Salem, and even finds time to do some songwriting of his own. He's going to join us after the break. You're watching the Roundtable, where heroes talk, on the Herostock Nation Podcast Network and readsacrossamericaradio.org. We'll be right back.
grab a rope and tie my heart to this mic, because I can't yell out enough for you to hear. Why can't heads and hearts connect when fear tries to tear us apart? Nothing changed in the last 20 years but a few more ghosts and a lot more tears. Empty windows, empty house, empty hearts, only a corner with an empty chair. And damn them for leaving me behind. And damn them for giving up. Damn them for thinking I would cry. Damn them for being right. They don't talk anymore. They won't talk anymore. And damn them for leaving me behind. And damn them for giving up. And damn them for thinking I would cry. And damn them for being right. Damn them for leaving me behind. And damn them for giving up. And damn them for thinking I would cry. And damn them for being right. And damn them for being right. Damn them for being right.
David Welch, everyone. Welcome back to the Roundtable where heroes talk with my co-host, Matthew Jones. Really appreciate you all joining us for the second half of tonight's episode where we feature David Welch. He's the District 14 Commander of the Oregon Veterans Foreign Wars. David served in the U.S. Army from 2003 to 2017. On a personal note, David has joined me in teaching several aspiring guitar players to pick up and play an acoustic guitar. And then he later went on to jam with others in a virtual setting with his help. David's introduced me to several of his own professional contacts in the Salem, Oregon area, many of whom see him as a leader in the work that he performs. So please welcome David Welch. Welcome, my friend. Good to have you. Hello. I understand the three of us have been on a podcast together. I believe we were all
at some point.
We were teaching some aspiring songwriters how to write. Is that true, guys? Did we do this?
I think so.
It all feels so familiar.
It was a little bit ago, but yeah.
Well, and I think we've had a few songwriters emerge thanks to your guys' help as well too. But speaking of songwriting, let's go back to the song itself. You want to give us a little get a insight as to, the motivation behind writing that song.
So, writing the song, let's see, writing the song was me. It was me being selfish. I think for a lot of us that served in the military, especially if we spent time overseas or whatever, we didn't come back the same. And over the years, we have lost friends and people that we used to serve with to mental health issues, to suicide. They're not here anymore. And the common thread kind of seems to be constantly, if only I would have talked to him more, if only I would have done this. I wish they knew or they were going through hard times or whatever. And that's good and all, but sometimes, the song was basically me being like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to be selfish for a second. Damn them for leaving me. Damn for them freaking thinking about themselves and freaking not thinking that I would give a crap, kind of thing. And that's what it was. It was me having that moment of being a little selfish about the situation and the issues that we're facing as veterans right now. I mean, it's not a topic that is too far away from, my understanding, having struggled with it myself in the past.
When you go into songwriting, taking a look at it from different perspectives is important, because you can go ahead and talk about one side of the story and never really acknowledge that there's another side, like a coin, the flip side of that. So did it turn out the way that you had hoped? And if so, what did people say after you played it for them?
It turned out better than I thought it would be. And I didn't think that the chorus would be so catchy that it would punch. My only thing is, damn them is very close, and I have to get really, really better at diction and voicing, making that distinction so it doesn't sound like damn them kind of thing. And that's something I'm working with on the song. But I wrote it I think 2 weeks ago, and like I said, I really like it because I think it does tell a story from another viewpoint, kind of thing. And
I do have to say, David, how many times have you played that for other people?
For other people, one other time.
One other time. Okay, so all that stuff you said about not sure whether or not it was going to come through clear enough, dude, I had to take a second. I had to take a second because.
Well,
Good job.
That's going into it. I started songwriting as a form of therapy. Like, it was not to push it out or play it for people or anything. What happened was, I was going to therapy counseling at the vet center, and I started to find that I was having issues at home. I was having issues, with my mental health and stuff. But every time I went to these counseling sessions, I'd walk out and be driving home being like, oh, should have talked about that. Should have talked about that. Man, this is that one thing that was really bothering me. I didn't get to talk about it yet. And I got really, really frustrated. And I ended up writing a song called Let Me Have My Time. And it was basically me just being able to tell a therapist. It twisted a little bit to telling an audience, but it was for me to get out all the things that I wanted to address in therapy, things that were bothering me and all that. And I played it for my therapist or my counselor, and she paused because, like I said, the name of the song is Let Me Have My Time, and she started apologizing profusely, and she was a little teary-eyed, and she was just like, I'm so sorry. If I wasn't facilitating, if I wasn't giving you what I was like, it's not, I'm sorry. No, it wasn't about you. It was more about me being frustrated that I couldn't get out the stuff that I wanted to get out. And from then on, it turned into a normal thing for all of our counseling sessions that I start writing songs to play to my counselors, and then we go over the information and talk about the stuff that we want to talk about during that session.
I got to tell you, just hands down, man, that what you just played, do it like that every single time. Sing it like that every single time. And I mean that because I felt every bit of it. Starting out nice and slow kind of sets that mood. And when you came in on those vocals and you were really belting that out there, man, it pierced the armor. right?
I
I
when
had to take a second, man. It almost broke me, dude. So
when I write music, I really love dynamics. I think it's something that might be sorely missing from music nowadays. You got to have your highs, you got to have your lows, you got to have your power moments. You have to it has to be interesting. In a world of music where you have drum beats and loopers and whatnot going on, and there is sort of dynamics, but it's kind of lacking. In my experience, from a lot of the stuff that I listen to that's kind of popular, you gotta let people, you gotta belt it out and let freaking people know that there's a soul behind it, kind of thing. And
yeah, I
that's kind of
felt
the
it.
thing that I've really enjoyed with writing music, is that aspect of it.
Certainly, there's a time and place for technology.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when it comes down to it, the bare bones acoustic guitar and vocals and your abilities to play them both in a way that catches the ear, authentic.
And I've been telling people, there's a new, I won't say newer artist because he's been writing songs for a while, but Stephen Wilson Jr. played
I'm a
he put out
song.
that song, I Am a Song. Dude, that's the kind of songwriter I want to be. I want people, when they hear my song, I want it to touch them, I want them to feel something in their chest, and I want it to be something for them. I can't remember where he's from exactly, but he talks with a very much a southern drawl, and you can kind of tell he likes boxing and maybe got hit in the jaw a little too much, kind of thing. But he plays a classic acoustic guitar, and every time he hits those strings, you hear thunder. But then you hear this voice, and there's these highs and these lows, and it's so dynamic. I absolutely flipping love it.
Well,
A
I'm
lot
gonna
of
tell
the
you,
songs that he's put out.
if that's your goal, this song hit it. I'm telling you, this it's a great song, man.
Thank you.
Great song.
Let me add, with every strum of that guitar that you had, and it was pronounced, you knew that the dynamics were there and intentional, and it felt like it was just dragging in a way where it complemented the song. It's dragging, and there's that feeling of just dragging and dread, and that was very effective. Yeah,
I
really.
need you to send me a video of you playing that so I can just watch it over and over
Well, you
and
have it
over,
now.
man.
I'll send it to you, man.
All right.
Well, I'll post it on a Hero Stock Nation, so
Thank you.
and all that stuff. So let's talk about your influences to songwriting. Now, here's the thing: is that I've known you for about 3 years, and we never really talked about the topic of songwriting because I knew you to be a guitar instructor. You would lead also educational sessions in the group of guitar players that you teach. But songwriting is not really a topic that we talked about. I would really be curious as to maybe those artists that you really do respect, along with Stephen Wilson.
So I live in Oregon. I'm part of the Pacific Northwest, and when I moved back here, I grew up in Kaiser, Oregon. When I moved back here in 2019 after getting out of the military, and I was learning the guitar, and it starts like I think a lot of people where you're like, oh, I'll learn how to play this song, and I'll play this song, and I'll play this song. And I started realizing I was gravitating very heavily to Western artists. Leaning towards Chris Cornell, leaning towards Pearl Jam, learning freaking Nirvana songs and Foo Fighters, and I started the songs that I started playing, like I Am the Highway, Chris Cornell, or Nutshell, which you guys heard just a small snippet of at the end of that song. That was that. There's emotion behind those songs, and these weren't artists that wrote songs to put out for people to listen to. These were people who wrote songs for themselves, and people happened to listen to them and like them. You can tell by the subjects that they were covering, what they were playing, and the lyrics that they were using, that this was therapy for them. And since then, I've kind of gravitated to that because Pacific Northwest artists, a lot of time you can say Chris Cornell, at some point he was rated the third or one of the top 4 vocalists in the world. Great. But Nirvana, when you look at freaking, oh geez, why am I drawing a blank here? The most famous guitarist in the world came from Seattle. Oh jeez, I hate myself for this, but he's the person that electric guitarists go, here's electric guitars beforehand, and here's electric guitars afterhand. And he was the one who used the gain knob on amps and created the distortion sound and got people using that. And what I kept on finding a string of in Pacific Northwest artists was they might not be the best, but they'll take this tool and they'll use it in whatever way they can possibly make a sound to convey how they feel and reach out. Nirvana all the time said they friggin' weren't great artists. In fact, a lot of artists would say that Nirvana was their inspiration for getting out there and playing on stage because they weren't that great. If you ever freaking want to hear something truly interesting, look up Kurt Cobain's solo album. You will feel instantly better about yourself. But at the same time, they rose through the fame that they did. All the while, Kurt Cobain and the members saying, hey, if someone invited us to a jam group, we wouldn't know what to do. Like, that's just not us. Like, we're not going to enter. You can't be like, hey, we're in this such and such key. Just we're playing the 1 5 4 6 pattern or whatever. Like, they would not know. That's not what they were, kind of thing. They were just artists that wanted to create. And so I found that very, very inspirational in what I was trying to do. And that was, I wanted to write music as a form of therapy to convey issues and problems that I was going through and how I felt about certain things.
Now let's go to the lyric writing. You know,
Yeah.
Did you have any type of formal training? Like, were you like an English major, or did you do
No.
creative writing or anything like that? This is
No. In
everything
fact,
that
I
you
hate
do
writing.
together.
I hated English. I absolutely hate English. I've never taken a poetry class. Freaking absolutely hate it.
You structured? Is that what it is? It didn't give you the freedom to create the way you did? I
hated writing essays. I hated writing essays, and I hated writing so much that I didn't do journaling or anything when I was younger. I still don't.
Are you the type of person who counted, if it's a 100-word essay, you had to count 100 words? Did you do that? I know.
That's what Word for is, highlighting, telling you how many words you're at. I do have a bachelor's degree in human resources management, which is hugely funny because in that field you should be able to take notes and type and write long freaking whatever things. And I absolutely hate it. I consider myself, when I was in the military as a human resources specialist, I considered myself as more of a systems manager, where I liked working with all the HR systems and going in and fixing that and this and adding this award to somebody's file and doing all that stuff and being very proficient at it. I hated memos more than anything. I would email freaking people from other battalions and crap and be like, hey, you got a template for such and such memo? Thanks.
Oh boy. Hey, since you've touched on being in the Army and of course tied into human resources, care to share some highlights about your military career?
Yeah, no, I enlisted in 2003, became a human resources specialist, 42 Alpha, and immediately they sent me to Fort Drum, Northern New York. And my first job in the military was working in a casualty office, where I was there to process casualty reports, brief funeral honor teams on how to do funerals, brief casualty assistance officers and casualty notification officers on how to notify and help and assist families. And then I was in charge of line of duty investigations, where I processed the reports and stuff and all that. That job was possibly my first instance of exposure to death in my life, to the point where everybody in that office had some kind of graveyard humor going on. It was just, you kind of had to. All you dealt with was, this person died here, this person got blown up here. It's a very dark freaking thing to get involved in. And it was my first job in the military for, I believe it was 2.5 years. And so, that was, like I said, that was my first exposure, but they removed all the military members from that office so that more military could deploy overseas. And I was placed in the G1 office, which we were borrowed manpower from anyway, the division admin office for 10th Mountain, and I deployed to Afghanistan. Well, when I got there, I guess the Department of the Army was like, hey, we should do line investigations in country, not when they get back. So that turned into me being a specialist with, 2.5 years or so in the military, creating the line of duty process for the whole country of Afghanistan, and having a task force and brigades report to me their line of duty investigations. And that was me calling the casualty office and be like, I need whatever templates you have and whatever you can send me, send it to me now, kind of thing. And so that's what I did. But between that, every once in a while, because I was the low man on the totem pole, I was the guy who tried out every task that was put on the office first. So we had MWR in our office, and they're like, hey, we need you to leave post or this fob and escort comedians or entertainment around. And, my first exposure to combat, I was nervous as crap. I was scared as crap to freaking leave base. And was I going to get blown up? What was going to happen? And I did that 3 or 4 times and started volunteering for it at one point. And they took that away from me. They're like, oh, okay. I guess now that it's safe, well, we'll go do it now. So then I got put on tower guard duty, where I sat in a tower and just scanned my sector freaking for 12 hours a day. And then I started volunteering for that, and they took that away kind of thing. So I got back from that deployment, and they sent me to infantry unit, 287 infantry catamounts at Fort Drum. And there is nothing harder than being what we would consider a pogue, being placed in an infantry unit. Because that takes time and dedication before people trust you and warm up to you and rely on you. Until then, you are a crap bag, freaking, you are a lazy bum, blah, 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 blah. I don't even know why freaking pogues exist in the military kind of thing. And I had to kind of put up and deal with that kind of image for probably, I think it was like 3 years. I was in this unit for 7 years before I left.
Wow.
And it got to the point where I was being trusted by leadership, to the point where I was doing the monthly unit strength report that would go to the Department of the Army, myself as a specialist. And I was sitting in command meetings, and they're like, well, Welch, what would you think about doing this for our reporting and all that? And having the XO battalion officer asking my opinion and stuff. And so, like I said, I was over that time frame, I was able to slowly build up credibility in what I was doing. But
it sounds like it,
yeah,
impressed.
I held on to Sham Shield for a long time.
Hey, maybe now is a good time for a break. Let's hear another one of your songs. Do you have one that you can share?
Okay.
Yeah. What's it called? And
so
maybe
I think I'll play something about home. It's called Evergreens.
All right. David Welch, everyone.
The evergreens are where I want to be. The mist of the rain, it follows me. As I step down on these streets, my home is never far from me, long as I see green. If I can smell pine, I know where I am. And if I cry, I know where I've been. So set the music to my song of choice, and I'll look to the west once more. once more. Don't you worry and sleep tight, holding dust tonight. And when the sun begins to break, I'll be there to wipe the dust from your eyes, your beautiful eyes. Let the gentle wind push me on course. Let the world show me what it's worth. If I get too tired to walk, I know where to find you, of course, in the evergreens. Whisper your dreams for me, and I'll yell my love for you. As we sleep one summer night, I smell the scent of the pines in the evergreens. Evergreens.
All right, so I want to ask you. We were talking a little bit about how you impressed, certain individuals while you were still serving, but then now you're out, and now I'm looking at this letter from the VFW, something about the National Aide de Camp for VFW. And this is like one of many leadership, I think it's like a leadership position is what it is. And, your stories leading up to this are kind of like, I was really at the bottom of the totem pole. What happened? What happened to you?
I kept saying yes. That's the problem. That was the problem. So I'm going to have to back up here a little bit.
Before you back up, let me just say this. So here's what I know of you. All right. Okay. So, the district commander for District 14, which is a leadership position in my mind. I mean, you've got to kind of coordinate the leadership activities amongst all of, the different groups.
11 posts. Yeah.
Okay. The different posts, right? You're also, I met you as a coordinator for, a guitar learning center in Salem, basically making sure that, the operation of teaching veterans, enrolling veterans, getting the equipment to graduate them, and all of the programming that goes into that. You have to lead those efforts as well too. You have to go out and kind of lead the effort in the way of promoting what is that you do, whether it's the VFW or for guitar teaching and all that. This is leadership to me. How did that happen?
Completely by accident. So I guess first I got to back up to me getting out of the Army, because that plays kind of a big role in how I got into all this other stuff later on. So in 2019, I left the military. Not on the terms that I wanted, per se. It was 13 and a half years of service, and I was tired. My now ex, but my wife at the time, was undergoing cancer. I had 3 kids that we were trying to adopt that were her nieces and nephews. And the Army, I got a stomach. I got a little bit of a belly, and the Army told me I had to go away. So I was chaptered out of the military for overweight. And during this time, I fought a lot of things. I was on a lot of medications for depression and anxiety at the time. It could be argued those could have been the reason why for overweight. But either way, I had some battles with trying to get out. And when I got out, I was going through the transition program, And they're like, oh, here, sign up with this program. They'll give you 5 jobs, interviews. You'll be set. I mean, you're HR. Like, I'm sure the world's your oyster. And I was like, okay, I'll get out and I'll get something and I'll be good to go. And so I went through these courses, got a certificate from Syracuse University for HR training and stuff. And I got out of the military and I got a phone call. I think it was a month after I got out of the military. And it was my job coordinator with this organization who was going to give me 5 interviews. And she called up and she's like, I can give you 3 interviews. I'm like, okay, what's the first one? She's like, well, I sent you the details on all 3 of them, but the first one is working for a bank as a bank manager. I'm like, okay, this says I need a bachelor's in finance. I don't have that. They're like, so you don't qualify for it? I was like, no. And they're like, okay, well, you don't qualify for this other one because it's also a bank manager. I'm like, super. What's the third one? We don't know. We just know it's Home Depot. Here's the website. Log in. They'll give you your interview stuff. I'm like, cool, fine. So I logged in and all that, got my interview time and date and all that. Showed up to Home Depot because, I was an HR guy, so I'm sure I'm going to be filing or managing employees or something, for the store. So I showed up in tie, slacks, white t-shirt, or a white button-up shirt, and sit down. The lady looks at me and she's like, do you know what you're interviewing for? I'm like, no. It's to work part-time stocking shelves from 9 at night until 1 in the morning. And my heart sank. I could not get a job. And luckily, when I got out, because I'd been in, I had received a separation pay. But after I spent that separation pay on debt and paying a few months of my mortgage, I find out from the VA that they won't get me my disability until next year, like next May. And I am going, oh crap. And time is going by, and I'm a month from losing my house. That same month, I'm going to have both of my cars repossessed. I can't get a job. And I'm sinking farther and farther into how much of a failure I am. And I don't know who I am because I'm not in the military. I've been in the military for 13 and a half years. I was something there. I was a soldier. I was a bastion of freedom, whatever you want to call it. Freaking, I was something. And when I took off that uniform, I didn't know who I was because I joined when I was 19. So I sunk down in depression. And then at one point, I went to a VA appointment with my counselor. And she started asking a lot of questions. And I started saying yes to a lot of things I never said yes to. And she had an officer come by. He picked me up, put me in the back, drove me to the nearest hospital. I was in process into mental ward for suicidal ideations. I spent a week and a half in the hospital eating crappy food and sleeping on sandbag pillows, learning how to do bead art. But at the end, when I got out of that, when I got out of there, none of my problems were resolved. I was going to still lose my house. I was still going to lose my cars. And I started going to the vet center. I was seeing this counselor, and this counselor was like, hey, there's this program where you can learn the guitar. Like, I think you should do it. And I said, no, because learning the guitar is cliche and everybody learns it and whatever, screw that. So I turned him down like 2 or 3 times. And finally he's like, you need to do this. You should do this. Go do this. I was like, okay, fine, put me in. So I did it and I fell in love with it. And I had friends and I was getting a little bit of my confidence back. But not only that, but I was connecting to prior Army me. The kid who went through high school and was in choir, the kid who sang in church, the kid who, music was his life. Something that I wasn't really interacting with other than yelling in my car, driving to work every day. But now I was. And it completely changed my mindset. And then a few things happened. I went to go see another VSO, told them what was going on. They put my VA disability claim in again, and it shot to 100%. And I went from not seeing a disability payment until May to seeing it in January. And me getting something in the mail for me to take to my mortgage company and be like, hey, don't take the house. I'm going to get paid next month. To me going, hey, I'm not going to get paid. Don't take the cars. And me being able to rebound. But there were still things that were going on. And then one of them was, I kept on seeing myself as being on this road. My wife at the time, we had been through 7 or 8 marriage counselors, been arguing for years and fighting. It hadn't gotten better. And I knew without any real changes to my life, I might end up right back in the mental ward or worse. And so I kind of viewed it as, I'm on this road. This is where this road goes. I need to get on a different road. And luckily I had family and I had friends back in Oregon. They were like, yeah, you can crash with us. Hey, you can move in with us, kind of thing. And so we separated in 2019. I moved back here. When I got here and started going to my vet center counseling appointments, my counselor was like, hey, we got a bunch of guitars and we've been trying to get a program started here. You've been through a program. Like, you could teach. And I'm like, I've been playing for 2.5 years. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, are you sure? And he's like, well, I mean, you can hold, to show them how to hold it and like play some chords. I'm like, yeah, I guess. We should hire a real instructor though. And 4 years later, I'm still doing it and I'm still in charge of it.
Yeah, I mean, all of the learning that you yourself went through and embraced it, and
that's what helped at first. Was anybody who walked into class, I instantly identified with them and understood where they're going to have hiccups, where they were going to struggle. I knew the problems I had trying to learn the guitar, and I was able to relate with them. So that I think for a lot of my first classes, that got me through, and it helped a lot of people continue to play the guitar. I mean, I have, now friends. That's the great part about all of this is I have friends that have been through, that I've made going through the program, that have told me that they used to pick up the bottle just before they went to bed every night. They pick up the guitar instead. I had a fiance come up to me and say, thank me profusely that because her husband, his demeanor has completely changed. He's not the same person anymore. He's happier. And I've been able to see that change. I've been able to see people that were part of that joined the program, finish the program, and all of a sudden start volunteering with other veteran organizations, helping out in the community, starting to take up leadership positions and helping other people. And, that leans sort of towards how the hell did I get into the VFW freaking crap that I'm in right now. So I joined a chapter because what the heck. And when I got there, there was a few issues I found. One, the chapter was kind of dwindling. They had issues. And right off the bat, I told them, I was like, the only way I could find that you guys existed was me talking to the City Chamber of Commerce and them giving me the contact info for the mayor who was in charge of the VFW. Like, you had a Facebook page at some point years ago, but we need to figure out how we can get in contact, the public can find us a little better and all that. So I started making suggestions. And then my third meeting, somebody stood up and said, hey, you should be quartermaster. It's really easy. All you got to do is turn in like one finance report a month. Not an issue. I was like, I did HR and I want to be a team player. I'll help. So became quartermaster and found out that was not true. That was definitely not true.
So
holy crap.
There's no bridge from music into the VFW. This is basically out of the kindness of your heart.
Well, yeah, this is out of the kindness of my heart. I wanted to be part of a veteran group, so I had something to do. So I joined the VFW because, I'm a combat vet. So became the quartermaster. Well, I finally go to my first district meeting. And the district meeting just happens to be an election district meeting. And the state commander of the VFW is getting up there and is like, if somebody doesn't volunteer to be the senior vice commander, we're going to have to close this meeting, hold another meeting, shut down this district if we can't freaking elect leadership. And I'm just in the back like, fine, I'll be senior, whatever. I'll do it's senior vice. It's a title. They don't do anything per se. Fast
Really?
forward
Do you still think?
Fast forward 4 months later, when the actual district commander texts me and says, "Congratulations on your promotion. I'm stepping out. I have a kid and I'm selling my house. You're the new district commander."
Oh, and here's my to-do list.
Yeah, exactly.
Well-
So that's how I got wrapped into that. But what I found mostly when that happened, when I looked at guitars or the guitar program that I was doing, and looking at the VFW, my guitar program was just me. Is me coordinating, showing up, teaching lessons, making sure people were in the system, all that. Now all of a sudden in the VFW, my duty description says inspirational in it, and motivate and inspire in my duty description. And I have never been in this pathway before, ever. I've never experienced this job before. And because I was a sham shield for most of my military, I got out as a sergeant, but yeah. So now all of a sudden I'm doing this.
Don't you think it's something that you can learn? And you have.
Well, what I found out, and that's worked very well, is I was able to transfer a few things from running the guitar program. And that is first and foremost, if you're going to want to run a veteran program, if you think you're going to be the program that sits on the hill that all veteran programs should aspire to, and everybody should come to you, you will close within a year or two. You'll flat out close. You have to build a net. You have to make friends. You have to show up to events. You have to support other veteran organizations so that they support you. So you share their activities and they share your activities on social media. So you're building this communication net. Something that when I first got to Oregon was kind of lacking. And we were talking about in an organization that I'm part of, VetNet in Oregon, where yeah, they were getting online and, hey, my organization does this and my organization, but no point was anybody like going on social media afterwards and going, hey, this organization's meeting up at the brewery for such and such fundraiser. No one was sharing their contact info and talking about how great each other's programs were. Mm-hmm. They were just like, cool, good to know that program also exists, and I'll never let anybody know it, kind of thing. And it was adverse. And what I found doing the VFW when I took over, there was some things culturally within the VFW that needed to change. And one of them was the high horse mentality. And that was, yes, we may be a really old program, but we're a program that's on the rebound, that is trying to change generations, and that is struggling with a lot of issues and problems. And we should not look at or view ourselves as the program, but a program that partners with other programs so that we all build each other up and we accomplish our mission, which is helping veterans.
Stronger together, right? Stronger together.
Exactly.
Yeah, very true. You know, it's funny. Now that I think about it, when I think of Herostock, for instance, and what we did in Ashland, and we brought together 50 different nonprofits, for-profits, these organizations. We're a firm believer in these partnerships, and things are starting to evolve with Herostock. In fact, as I understand it, we have just redesigned our logo as well too, to include something along those lines. It's basically music, it's heroes, it's resources, it's community coming together. And we're proud of it. And, we know that our success hinges on, those types of partnerships. So, thank you for sharing that, David. You know what? We're coming up at the end of the hour here. Do you have another song that you'd like to share with us?
I guess it has been an hour. Jeez.
Yeah. It has.
Time flies when you're having fun, brother.
I know, right?
I mean, the story's hot.
Well, I could talk for another hour and a half, but
well, we appreciate you setting aside time, and of course, we got to have you come back. And you know what? Here's some other things that you should know: is that we're now starting to reach out across the virtual platform when it comes to live events, and having you come back and maybe sit in and perform your songs with maybe some of the other songwriters that we've had on. We're going to be planning that, so you can always come back for that, for sure. And You know, we got a song
Sounds great.
coming up as well too. The Great American Guitar Strum on Veterans Day. It'll be at 5 p.m. Pacific.
Like
Oh.
like I told you, I think offline. I do VFW poppies on Veterans Day every year, so I have to just check where my shift is, and then maybe I can join you guys for sure. That would be. It's always fun. It's always fun hanging out with you guys.
All right, why don't you close us out with one of your songs here? Tell us what it is and a little story behind it.
So, I think I'm going to play for you guys the song that I wrote for my therapist. I will say right up front, I've had people come up to me and tell me that they really like the song and all that, and then I've had people completely dismiss it. And I think it's more of a relation to how it relates to them. Have they, gone through maybe some of the same problems and issues, and does it hit them at home, kind of thing. Before that, though, I do want to say a few things. I want to thank Uptown Music here in Kaiser that's supported me in my guitar program, and I want to continue to thank all the veteran programs in the area, Vet Care, the Vet Center, freaking all of them who've not only supported me, but became my friend. And I think that's why it works, is because we didn't become acquaintances, we became friends. So
created an environment where you can grow through what you go through, brother.
Yep.
Hey, I can tell you one other thing. Let me add to that, David.
Yeah.
That first time I made it over to Salem to your song circle, I thought, I got to meet this guy. And since then, we have connected time and time again. I appreciate the relationship that I have with you, my friend.
Friends mean a lot to me. They really do. So, but anyway, this is called "Let Me Have My Time," and yeah. Please sit. Tell me how your day's been, what's wrong, and are you okay? Well, I'm not sure. But I cry when I think about my life. I get down on myself when I am low. I tell myself that I'm faking when I play this damn guitar, but I have thoughts to say and feelings to kill, so let me have my time. My time is getting shorter in my life. Have I missed my chance to set this world on fire? My hair is thin in my waist, it just won't go away. I think my voice might crack under this strain, so let me have my time. My kids never call anymore. It seems they set the sights on the rest of the world. Quiet moments I can almost hear me tell myself I will endure. But my thoughts are not out here, and I can't drink any more beer. So please, oh please, God please, let me have my time. Don't you dare start tearing up now, 'cause there's more that I've gotta say.
My mother says, my brother, I can't do it anymore. The kids are now going to the States. Maybe now they won't go up to do math. Maybe now they'll get to see a better life. Maybe now they won't see Daddy. He's dying on the floor. I know I'm just throwing this out here. Let me have my time. I got one last thing to say. I've been thinking about writing my goodbyes. My time is getting short, and I don't want to forget who gets all of these clothes. My password, my pictures, my failed attempts and songs, my written words and what's left of my soul. So next week, that'll work. Same old time, same old place, same damn words. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. Thank you for my time. Thank you for my time. Thank you for your
David Welch, I am thankful for spending some time with you and getting to know this side of you. After
I
knowing,
gotta say, man, keep networking, keep sharing, keep teaching, keep doing what you're doing, because although you don't see it now, you're impacting people's lives, and that changes everything. Keep doing it.
Thank you.
all right, David, I'm going to say thank you for joining us. It was a real pleasure hearing your stories and your original songs and that display of emotion that you got there. Thanks a
you.
lot.
All right. It's good seeing you guys. I'll catch you guys later.
All right. Next week at the Roundtable where heroes talk, it's master guitar luthier and maker of the Herostock guitar, Robert Rask. He's going to share info about a special project that he's working on that'll be coming to the small screen, along with a look around his shop and the specialty guitars he's been putting together for his customers. You've been listening to the Roundtable where heroes talk, a Herostock Nation podcast. Catch us on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, www.herostock.org/podcast. Till next week, for Matthew Jones, I'm Tom Lamog. For David Welch. Till next
Catch you
time.
guys later.
What's up, Herostock Nation?